Hi guys, well welcome back to Allotment Diggers. It's just come up to 7 o'clock in the evening. I've just come down onto the allotments to shut the greenhouse doors, so I've left them open all day. It's been quite warm actually, and I've just come down to do a watering. Any sooner, and what had happened is I ended up getting all my tomatoes and everything scorched. It's been a hell of a week really. We've had some really severe weather earlier on in the week. I mean 40-50 mile an hour gusts. It was a lot stronger down south, but we did get some here. And well, what we've been doing, come on a couple of days ago and found the foxes have been having a party with the second lot of potatoes that I put in buckets. I'll show you what they done in a bit. But I managed to top the buckets up, and we got lucky really. And I noticed where they've been digging in the bucket, the potatoes are about 2 inches underneath the soil. So I reckon by May the 6th they should be up and sprouting. But I put some fleece over them just to protect them from the foxes, and we raked the bed, so I sorted that out. Then the next thing, I come down to the front greenhouse, because I've not been for a few days, because I've not been too well. Got the lurgy again, blocked up nose, so I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Anyway, we come down, we've not been down for a couple of days. We went into the front greenhouse and bam, a wall of potatoes. That's what I was confronted with, and I thought to myself, this is it. All my potatoes are ruined now because I can't get them out. It doesn't look like I'll be able to get them out, and I can't leave them in the greenhouse, so I thought I'm going to end up breaking a few of them when I tried to move them. But we got really lucky, and the potatoes what are in the greenhouse are at the back of the allotment, so I'm going to show you me doing all that in a bit. Also in this clip I'm going to paste into me setting my stall out for the tomatoes in the front greenhouse. I've got to put all the canes up for them to grow up, and the aloes. You're going to see all this. You're going to see me putting some of the heritage tomatoes into the aloes. I'll show you how I do mine. And so all that's coming up right now, so here it comes. This is what we've been doing over the last few days. Well, I come on this morning, I noticed my potato pot, something's been digging down in there and there. And I looked across there and all I can see is footprints, foxes. So I need to cover these up to protect them from the bloody foxes of all things. Unbelievable. Well, let me show you this disaster. The spuds have got the jump on me. They're about 18 inches above the buckets. The buckets are full. I should have moved them sooner. Now I've got a faff about trying to get all these buckets out of the greenhouse without breaking the leaves. This was not on me to-do list, but unfortunately, as you can see, they are right up to the top. So I've got to drag them out, and I've got to stick them. The only place I can stick them where they're going to be protected is at back of me plot in the bed what had the potatoes last year. These ones will have to go there because they're just too high. If I stick them where there's no protection, what will happen is they'll get blown over with the winds. Now we've had some really strong winds last night, 60-70 mile an hour gusts, and well, we're going to try and get them out anyway. I get them on my wheelbarrow, we'll wheel them down to the back of the plot. I try to be gentle with them, and we'll take it from there, but they've all got to come out, unfortunately. I left them in too long. I was only going to leave them in to about that height, but 3 days, and they've grown another 10 inches or so. They do look good, but if I leave them in here any longer, what will happen is they'll go through the bloody roof. So they've got to come out. These are the first earlies, swift. So let's have at it, let's get cracking, and we'll get them out.
Well, there's the first of many. 10 buckets I've got to bring out. They look pretty good. I put some fleece just to protect them, and I reckon in a couple of months' time we'll be picking some nice potatoes out of these buckets.
Well, the wind was vicious last night and it blew all these leaves off the trees here into this bed. It won't make much difference. I've also noticed over here the foxes have been having a party here, and come on this morning, and 2 of the buckets have been dug into, so I'm going to have to put nets over them as well. These spuds were almost at the top of the buckets, almost at the top. I've noticed when I was putting the soil back in the bucket, they was just coming up. So yeah, we've got foxes digging away here. We've had we've left the other spuds in the greenhouse for too long, and now I've got to clear all these ones out of the way to put the spuds here, because they'll be protected here with them being so high. And I put some fleece over them as well, so hell knows what's going to happen. But nothing's going to happen if I don't get stuck in, so I need to move all these here. I've got to find somewhere to put them. These are all buckets, by the way, so oh the joy. I'll move the all the buckets and what have you, so I'm going to have to stick the other buckets with the potatoes in there. They'll be sheltered pretty much on 3 sides. It's only the southerly wind which is going to affect them, but I'll put a fleece over them as well. That should give them more protection, and then we can start thinking about putting some tomatoes in the front greenhouse. But I didn't realise the spuds was going to get so big so fast. Incredible. Anyway, that's where we're going to put them. We're going to put them right up against that fence for protection. So I'm going to get them there and I'll show you when we've done it. So I've just covered the dahlias up there, put a bit of fleece over them to protect them, and well, we tidied this bed back up since the foxes wanted to have a party last night. They dug down here, and they also dug in their 2 pots, as you saw, but they're fine. The spuds are fine. Luckily they only dug so far down, and when I come to look, I did notice that we had just starting to come up in the buckets now, the potatoes. So the foxes just missed them, but I thought we'll put that cover over them, it might keep them off them. These ones which we took out the front greenhouse are covered over with fleece as well. So tomorrow I'm going to be putting the tomatoes into the greenhouse, hopefully. So if I've got the video hasn't stretched out too long, I'll show you me doing that, putting the tomatoes in the halos. But yeah, we've been busy this morning, and as you can see, we didn't lose any potatoes to the foxes. Oh, buggers. So all I need to do now in here is put a bag of compost in, level it all off, and put me tomato halos in here, and then pick me tomatoes that I'm going to be putting in. And then this one's all buttoned up, hopefully.
and that's one less job for me to do over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we had to remove the potatoes out of here because it was getting too big. I would have left them 2 more days and I'd never been able to get them out. They've been that big. So fortunately for me, the wind's gone, them 60-70 mile an hour gusts, and now I can do something about it, and that's what I've been doing this morning. So we've kicked all the spuds out to the back of the allotments, and we're going to crack on here, put another bag of compost in, clover multi-purpose, get my halos out, give them a good wash, and then we'll have at it and set them all up. So there you go, that's what we've been doing, that's what we're doing. More to come. Be right back. Right, as you can see, I'm just putting a few bags of compost into this side of the greenhouse, and I'll be right back once I've tidied it all up. But you can see what we're doing, we're just raking it all flat, and then we can put the halos in then. So as you can see, we've just put a new pile of compost, clover compost, into this greenhouse down this side here, and this is where we're going to be putting the tomatoes. So I'm just going to set my halos up now, and well, the halo looks like this here, and you position them, then you put a cane down the centre, and then the tomato goes in the centre here where my finger's poking, and you water them in here. In fact, I'll show you a little bit better when I get them set up. So I'm just going to have a faff about with them where I want to position them, and we'll be right back. Let's have a final look at what we've been doing this morning. It's been too tight to have the camera in here to do this, but you can see the halos are all in here now, pushed down. We've got the canes in place, cable tied them together. They just pull, but each year when they've done, we lift them out, sterilise them, we put them back in, and as you can see, this is how we connect them together. Put them at the back of the halos, tomato in the centre in each of them, and so we're good to go here. Well, we've got tomatoes that we can stick in here very shortly, and that's what I'm going to be putting in. Put the heritage varieties of tomatoes in this greenhouse, I think. Maybe a cucumber or 2 here on this end where the grapevine is, because I don't want the grapevine to suffer really. Although saying that, it probably, well, it's not suffering, because look at it, it's just gone crazy. You would have thought it's 2-year-old, this grapevine, and it was taken from a cutting in the other greenhouse. In fact, if you look down here, when I was cutting it, I took a couple of cuttings and just shoved them in the ground, and as you can see, we've got a bud. So this is another grape, so we could potentially put this one in the other greenhouse. However, I've actually stuck another one in the other greenhouse, and that's taken, so we may even just take this and stick it outside eventually. But yeah, that one hasn't taken, but that one has. This is the grapevine. As you can see, it goes over and along, it goes along here, and we have trained it to go over, sorry about the switch, wishy-washy stuff going over the door, and we're eventually going to stop it about here, because there's another type of grape here which I've never had any grapes off it. If we don't get no grapes off it this year, we're going to pull it out, and we're just going to continue with this going round. Cosmos here, I need to sort all this out. We've got some little Leo here, little Leo there. Funny enough, let's lift this off here a second. I want to show you something. It's crazy. Now, 2 different packs, 2 seeds, packs of seeds, little Leo. There you go. There's a pack of seeds I've done in there. There's only 3 I haven't fired up. Let's have a look at this one. There's not a single one fired up. So What's that all about? Same compost, same seeds, actually different packs of seeds. So yeah, that one wasn't a very good one. We need to pick these calendulas out here. I need to sort them out. And we've also, I forget what these ones are now. Let's have a quick look. Zinnias. I need to prick them out as well. And we've got lots of trays here to do that. Them I need to sort out as well. I can't leave them in here. We just dried them out. These are the snowdrops, which a mate of mine's just give me a load more. We've got a load of sunflowers here. I think them there's two different varieties there. I'm not too sure that the actual labels are in them. One of my dahlias there. And I can't remember, I can never remember what that one is. Zenita. It's spelled S-C-N-E-T-T-I, and it's a violet biocolour flower, and it's absolutely lovely. I was going to put it outside, and I just haven't got round to it. I've been so busy doing all this. I need to take that out as well. That's some jasmine. I've got a lot of these jasmine plants, what I need to find a place for. There's Manny without his cap. I need to give him a cap. And believe it or not, the thermometer exploded the other day. I need to put a battery in it. It's 176.2 degrees. that was correct. The greenhouse would have melted, but it's the battery's gone. I need to change the battery on that. But it's been about 110, 115 in the greenhouse. This greenhouse. And yeah, so there you go. That's the framework for the tomatoes. The halos are in place. I will put the tomatoes in shortly, but I'm going to have a nice drink of coffee now and plot my next job, which you have to do. So we've managed to get the potatoes out at the and get them covered over at the back of the allotments. They're covered over with the fleece, so they're protected. And the next job is probably putting the tomatoes in here. Right, I've waffled long and hard and long enough. Let's have a cup of coffee and I'll tell you a bit more about what we're doing. So you join me just topping these halos up and just adding the soil to the top. What I'm doing here is putting the pots in first before, and I just drop the tomatoes in on top of them afterwards. That way I'm not causing any damage to the plants. Just lift that out and drop that one in, and that's all ready to go. And what I do is come along with the tomato, drop it in, bit of TLC, and away we go. So that's what we're doing. We've been doing this to quite a few of them. I've still got another 8 to do, so I'm going to have at it, and we'll be right back when they're all done. We're just putting these Roma in here now, and it's just a matter of like for like. I do need to put a bit more compost in there, so we just got a bucket to hand here. Get a bit more compost. In fact, what I will do is take these bottom leaves off. That's my other Roma. We'll be putting that in a moment. So with these, you don't want to be taking the side shoots out of the Roma because they're more like a bushy plant. So you've got to be careful. With some tomatoes are like bushes, others are like they grow tall, thin, and if you start taking the side shoots out of the Roma, they just grow leggy, and they won't put many fruits. They won't produce many fruits if you start taking the side shoots. Where are we? All these side shoots here, you want to keep these on it and let it grow. But I'm taking some of these, taking 1 or 2 of the leaves off which are a bit brown. Anyway, we've got one more to do. This is the last one, so let's have at it. Take that old one out. Nice root system, bit pot bound, but they'll soon pick up, and it's just a matter of dropping them in, pushing them down. There's a bit more compost there, just putting over the top of it, and the job's a good one. So one last look at the tomatoes. There they are in the pots. What you can see between them is lobelia and some primroses that I need to plant on. But yeah, we've got Shirley's here, we've got Roma, Black Russian, we've got Goldwins, we've got Cherokee, Brandy, Wine, we got Beefmaster, Tigerilla, Gardener's Delight and Moneymaker. We've done one of each. I like different tomatoes. I don't see the point in just doing one variety of tomatoes. You see that in most greenhouses, but I like to do different ones. With the Roma, the one thing you don't do is take the side shoots out, because they're a bush plant. If you start taking the side shoots out, I think you'll be in a bit of trouble. But the rest of them, you can take the roots out. They'll soon be climbing up these canes, and when they get to the top, we just pick the top out. So there you go, job's a good one. Now I can shut the door, and we can do something else. So yeah, we've been pretty busy. I've also, in that clip, you see the dahlias. We covered the dahlias as well. Now the dahlias, I got really lazy last year. Just took the tops off them and put some plastic over the top of them and forgot about them. Basically, they were still on my plot, but they were covered up, and I thought, do I take them out the buckets? They really are big tubers. You could break them up into 3. You could have 3 different dahlias out of them if I wanted to have done that. But I thought, just leave them in the buckets. If they die, they died. Anyway, I come to lift the top off, and blow me, they've all started to put shoots out. And it was only when we was taking the Lucifer, moving the Lucifer, that I noticed it. And now the Lucifer's doing wonderfully. Let me show you these two, the dahlias, just how well they're doing, and I'll show you my Lucifer and tell you a bit about that as well. Hi guys, so this is Cocosmia, or in certain parts of the world it's called Montbretia. However, this is called Lucifer, and it's got some beautiful blooms when it comes up, like brilliant red blooms. These seem to fire up, and they last for about a month, and they look lovely. Now, there was under the cover with the dahlias, and there was last week there was about this big, about 4 inches, 5 inches. Well, they put her on a right spurt here, and there's 2 buckets of them. I'll be moving these to the front of my plot when I'm ready. I'm just looking at the plants in the pond here. I need to scoop some of this duckweed out of here, and we've got some lemon balm there, which looks absolutely wonderful. The fig's coming back to life there, and so's this rose. And we got this. I'm trying to think what they are. Good God, what they call now? Red flag irises. And they're just starting to come up, and they're actually set in the pond. You can either plant them in the ground in soil, or you can put them in the pond. They're pretty versatile plant, and we'll get some beautiful flowers off these as well shortly. But I do need to get in this pond and just scoop some of the duckweed out. There's just one small problem: it's full of tadpoles. So I reckon I'm going to have to leave it about another month. I'll top it up with water, leave it for a month, and then take it out. That way all the tiny frogs would have all upped it by then. Excuse the pun, but yeah, I thought I'd show you this Lucifer here. It's doing wonderful. A beautiful plant, look at that. Perfect. And it's doing really well in these 30 litre buckets. There's the other one at the back of it, and just behind that we've got another gooseberry with fruit all over it. I just want to show you these dahlias as well. In fact, we've got some more Lucifer here coming up in amongst the dahlias. You see the buckets, and we're leaving them in buckets. And what we're going to do, I need to cut these off here. In fact, I'm just going to take that off here. It's dead, won't do no harm. I'll cut that with a proper pair of snips. Oh, ladybird there. They're everywhere. Getting them aphids nice and early. But every one of the buckets are fired up. They're just starting to come through now. These are up. These are up. You can see it's just starting to come up here. Every bucket is full of beautiful dahlias. What I'm going to do though, I'm going to put a fleece over the top of them. We've got no chance of frost tonight, but any chance of at all of frost, I'll cover them up, just like I've done with the spuds over there. We took off, so we're taking them out of the greenhouse, and I've put fleece over them to protect them. And these ones here, well, the bloody fox has been digging in these buckets, so we need to put some sort of protection over these as well. A bit of netting will stop them. Yeah, they've been having a bit of a party here. You can see where they've all footprints everywhere. Well, I come on this morning and they dug an hole in the bloody bucket. And when I was covering it over, I did notice the potatoes are almost at the top of the compost now. So sometime next week we're going to start seeing potatoes poking through in these buckets. I get asked a few questions about these. Why don't you top them up? Well, these ones have topped up because we put outside, and what we're trying to do is get them so when they do come out of the soil, there's no frost, or there's hardly any chance of frost. With these ones here, we top them up in the greenhouses, so there's no chance that they're going to get frost. So we top them up as we go. So there's two methods. You can either throw the spuds in, fill the buckets to the top with compost, that's one way, or you can top them up, and that's the other way, which they've been done, and you can see the difference in the two. And it's about 3-4 weeks between the 20 buckets, 10 buckets of, I think there's Maris Piper and there's Penton Javelin there. We got Cara and Maris Pear there, 5 of each. So yeah, this bed here I think we're going to be putting corn in here, but I need to protect it from the protect the bed from the foxes, so we're going to see the nets coming on here in a bit. This bed I'm not too sure. We'll probably stick some peas in here and some cabbages and what have you. This bed here I'm not too sure what we're going to use, what we're going to put in there. There's another part over there. We've got some Zabroon banana shallots, so I might even stick a load of Zabroon banana shallots in there and stick the corn in there. I don't know. We just, at the moment, everything's up in the air. But yeah, you can see the trees are full of leaves now, full of blossoms. And for me, the blossoms have arrived just at the right time. If they would have arrived a couple of weeks earlier, like most of them have on here, and they would have got frozen, got frostbitten, and we wouldn't have had as many fruits. And now you can see that they're everywhere, all over this tree. These are bramleys, by the way. There's 2 bramleys. It's always wise to grow in pairs because they're very lazy at pollinating. But as you can see, my favourite apple. So why not have 2 apple trees? There's a small Cox's pippin there, which is dwarfed by these, but that one, don't get me wrong, that's normally full of apples as well. Even though this one here sucks the life out of it, it still produces fruit. And there's another one at the side of it what does the same. I will be up there this year, and I'm going to take at least 4 foot off it. It's at the moment it's at the height. It can't get any higher really. Regulations say they've got to be no more than, is it 9 foot high, 10 foot high. Oh, it's 3 meters high on here, so at the moment it's about just over 3 meters, so we will cut it back shortly, well, later on this year. So I just thought I'd show you the Cocosmia, Lucifer as they're called. We're not, oh, go on, we're going to show you. I need to get in here. My onions are being overwhelmed by, I mean I've never seen as many weeds that it's going to take me a good 4 hours to clear them out of there. You know, I've been concentrating on everybody else's plots, and I've let my plot, neglected my plot. So this is the only bed what's got a weed in the entire allotment. This bed here has been neglected. Just this bit here, underneath here, it's just that bit. Everywhere else is, you know, fine, all raring to go. The elephant garlic's doing wonderfully over there. There's more elephant garlic, and yes, everything's doing fine. The shallots are starting to come up. I thought there was a couple but I hadn't fired, but they're just slow starting, and they're just starting to come now. So in about 3 weeks time they'll all be fired up, and it'll look pretty cool here. This is where I think we're going to put the Zabroon banana shallots. I think that's what we're going to put here, and onwards and upwards.
So yeah, they're doing fine, and no thanks to me. I mean, I've got dahlias in the beds here which I never removed, and they're starting to come up now. But I had a sneaky feeling that they would be okay still in the soil, because I've got some called top blends, I think they're called. I forget the name of them. They're a small dahlia. They've got beautiful little. They throw a load of flowers out, and they're about 2 foot tall, 2.5 foot tall they grow. And I've had one in the greenhouse for the last 2 years, and I've not removed it from the pot, and I've just left it there, and it's got bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm going to have to do something this year though. I'm going to have to put it in a bigger pot. It's come up, so that's why I had an idea these might come up. But I have actually got more dahlias in the beds here, and they're just starting to come up now, so we've got lucky really. We've had a fairly mild winter, I think. I think we've got away with it, most of it, but I've put the fleece on the potatoes, on the ones what are outside, and they're doing fine as well. So I've put them on just in case the temperatures, you know, you get cold temperatures at night, they will blacken the foliage on the potatoes, and they'll do the same with the dahlias. So at the night time I put the fleece on. During the day I take it off. You could leave it on, I suppose, until it start to cause problems, and I could remove it, but we're just doing that at the moment. And yeah, everything's we got away with it with the skin of his teeth. I just got back now. I woke up this morning, and my watch, believe it or not, well actually it's about this time, 7:30 in the morning, I come to look at it and the watch had froze. Yeah, I've got it fixed. I took it, got it done. I was a bit disappointed though with this. I thought it was one of these automatic watches. Now I've got an automatic watch on here now, which I've just bought. I'm just keeping an eye on it, and both of them are in perfect sync. So this one was supposed to have been an automatic. It cost me a few £100, this Seconda. And anyway, I took it into Jeweller's to be fixed, and I says, you might not be able to fix it. He says, why not? I said, well, it's an automatic. He says, I think you want to have a look here, mate. He said, it isn't. I bought it off someone I bought it off a place on the internet. So I think it was Amazon I bought it on. So I'm a bit disappointed with it. But even so, I got it. He fixed it for me. Put a new battery, a new strap on it, and a new bar across there. And I saw that. So I bought it, and yeah, it's pretty good. I will take it off. I sometimes do have 2 watches on. It's only when I'm fishing though, and I use them when I'm match fishing. I've not been fishing this year so far, so I need to seriously think about doing some. I've not done some for a while. Been too poorly, you see. This bloody lurgy come back, and it's a killer. But yeah, at the moment everything's doing really well. We're going to be putting the celery out next in the beds, and I've got some broom banana shallots, they can go out. I've got some collies, they can go out. There's a lot of stuff can go out right now, so I will be putting them out in the next episode, hopefully. That's if on top of all the other stuff, what I've got a load of seeds sowing, a load of flowers to pot on. I've got some calandria, and I forget what the other one, I always forget what it is. I've just mentioned it in the video, but yeah, we've got all them to prick out and put into different pots, and then we've got to start with the other greenhouse. Once we've cleared the table of all the seedlings, then we can start putting the tomatoes in there as well. Fortunately we've got the chilies in there. We've got a load of chilies sorted out in the middle greenhouse. It's just this greenhouse here that we need to sort out. So we're half done. One of my mates just waving to me there. So I'm going to get off, try and get this video up to date. It's the 30th today. If I can get it up, I will. If I can't, well, it'd be 1st of May tomorrow. And I reckon in another I'm going to give it another 8-9 days. I reckon that's it. No more frost. But never say never. There's always something there to come and bite you in the backside. So. I won't let me guard down too soon, but yeah, bloody birds there in the background. What I'm going to do now, have a drink of coffee here. I'm going to sit and listen to the birds for half an hour, and head off home and get this video up if I can. Shouldn't be late when I put it up. My American friends will see it probably first, because I'll put it up around about 12 o'clock in the evening, and I go to bed. That's why you don't get me talking to you all straight away, because like I say, I go straight to bed. As soon as I've uploaded the video, off the bed to go, then it's the next day that I come on and I answer all your questions and what have you. So anyway, with that, goodbye for now.